murder, suicide, revenge, betrayal. All acts of treachery that led to the demise of Venice's most prominent figure. Tonight we will unravel the mystery behind these unfortunate events. Who? Where? When? How? What were they thinking? The name's Brown, Waldo Brown. Stay tuned for the next to uncover the facts behind Venice's and Cyprus's most infamous tragedy.
Tush, thou told me thou didst hold him in thy hate.
Despise me, I do not, for I know my price. I am worth no less of a place. For certes, he said, I have already chosen my officer. And who is he? Michael Cassio.
No! Are you kidding me?
'Tis the curse of service. Preferment goes by letter of affection, and not by old gradation. Where each second stood heir to the first.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you for joining us from New York. Now, would you please tell me when it became evident that Iago hated Cassio?
I wasn't aware of him ever hating Cassio until the day Iago was arrested. Sure, everyone suspected he'd be a little perturbed when Cassio got promoted over him, but we figured he'd just get over it.
Little did they know that this event would mark the beginning of the demise of essentially everyone Iago would meet in the upcoming days.
We can see through documents that while Iago is indisputably clever, he is also a cold man using false pretenses and manipulation. He contrives a facade in which he is a good and admirable man that lasts until only a couple hours before his arrest. No. What are they doing?
He was always so honest.
Everyone trusted him. I don't know why, especially Othello.
A man, he is of honesty and trust.
What's interesting about Iago is that for him to have obtained such an honest reputation, he must have been honest in previous situations. This honesty comes from his superego. The superego is a division of the psyche which expresses the need to do something good or moral.
Someone with a conscience wouldn't be able to have come up with such an elaborate scheme and deceived everyone. It's so sad how misguided he has become. I mean, his overzealous jealousy and rage, it's so sad.
Iago quickly became the epitome of villainous when he lost sight of right and wrong, as seen when he manipulates and kills others. I have rubbed this young quaw almost to the sense, and he grows angry. Now whether he kill Cassio, or Cassio he, or each do kill the other, either way makes me gain. Live Rodrigo, he calls me to a restitution large of gold and jewels that I bobbed from him as gifts to Desdemona. It must not be.
He must die.
As plain as you can see, Iago has lost all of his senses. Iago doesn't care if Rodrigo dies, even though Rodrigo has backed up all of Iago's schemes. Iago would rather have Rodrigo die than give up all of his gold and jewels that Rodrigo has given him for Desdemona. Iago doesn't care about anyone anymore except for himself.
So what did you see?
Well, I was sleeping when I heard a blood-curdling cry. I got up to see what was going on. When I got outside, it was pitch black. I could only hear a couple of people crying out in pain. I followed their voices and found a man lying on the ground. I was about to help him when Iago came around the corner carrying a lamp.
Oh, help me there!
That's one of them!
Oh, murderous slave! Oh, villain! Oh, damned Iago! Oh, inhuman dog!
Kill men in thy dark. Where be these bloody thieves? How silent is this town? Ho! Murder! Murder!
I watched as he stabbed Rodrigo and left him to die. The look on Rodrigo's face was pure betrayal. I didn't know what to do, so I left the scene quickly as possible to avoid getting entangled in this bizarre event.
As Iago works his way into Othello's mind, we see Othello take on characteristics we first associated with Iago: rash, vengeful, and bitter behavior.
I think Cassio is an honest man.
Nay, yet I think there is more in this. I pray thee, speak to me as thy thinkings. I douse ruminate. I give thy worst of thoughts, the worst of words.
Utter thy thoughts. Why say they are thy own false?
Thou dost conspire against thy friend Iago. If thou thinkest him wrong, it maketh his ear a stranger to thy thoughts.
I do beseech you, though perchance I am too vicious my guest. As, I confess, it is my nature's plague to spy into abuses, and oft my jealousy shapes faults. That are not that your wisdom yet, from one as so imperfectly conceits, would take no notice, nor build yourself a trouble out of his scattering and unsure observances. It were not for your quiet, nor your good, nor for my manhood, honesty, or wisdom, to let you know my thoughts.
Iago skillfully insinuates to Othello that Desdemona and Cassio are having an affair. He constantly plants seeds of doubt in Othello's mind to make him question his wife's fidelity. Iago has a desperate need for power, but his ego balances it and doesn't allow him to say certain things to Othello. He realizes that Othello needs to put his whole trust in Iago so that he doesn't suspect him of treason.
While the hints were subtle at first, Iago started dropping bigger bombshells to create jealousy in Othello. The insinuations, although false, had the desirous effect that Iago was going for. Othello became rattled with jealousy.
Look to it, I know our country disposition well. In Venice, they let God see the pranks they dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is to leave it undone, but kept unknown.
Why do I marry? This honest creature doubtless knows and sees more, much more than he unfolds.
How now, my lord?
Avaunt! Begone! This has set me a rack. I swear it is better to be abused than to know so little. You better prove my love a whore. Be sure of it.
With the tiniest bit of doubt in his mind, Othello began to unravel at the seams. All of his trust that had been placed in Desdemona was vanished and was now placed in Iago.
I overheard Iago telling Othello about an experience he had in which he and Cassio shared a bed. Ew.
I lay with Cassio lately, and I could not sleep. In sleep I heard him say, "Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary. Let us hide our love."
Oh, monstrous! Monstrous! I'm going to tear her to pieces!
Iago's plot, Othello's undoing, and 4 deaths. The passion of jealousy and burning of revenge leads any good man to ruin and any evil man to unprecedented, vile wrongdoings.
It is the cause, yet I'll not shed her blood, nor scar that whiter skin of hers than snow. O balmy breath, that dost almost persuade justice to break her sword. I must weep, but they are cruel tears.
You're fatal then when your eyes roll so. Why I should fear I know not, since guiltiness I know not.
Down, strumpet! Being done, there is no pause! As I watched from the street below, I was dumbfounded by this sight. First, Othello was tackling Desdemona, and then he was suffocating her. How could he do something so cruel? I, that am cruel, am yet merciful. I will not let thee linger in thy pain. It was very out of character. Othello was one of the most respected men in town. I remember once all of the townspeople found out, they were stunned. Many didn't even believe the rumor, but they were proved wrong soon, though.
In this case, we are able to witness the unfortunate ego of Othello. Othello's idea to murder his wife proves that his id was a more prominent feature of his ego. This means that he acted upon impulse instead of what was rational. Not only were his actions violent, but his words were too. The use of the derogatory strumpet that he used to call his wife shows his lack of respect for his wife.
In this final scene, we listen as Othello realizes that he let himself be blinded by revenge and rage, and that he succumbed to deadly manipulation. These facts the audience already knows, but finally the tragic hero admits his tragic flaws to himself.
An honorable murderer, if you will, for naught I didn't hate, but all in honor. Speak of me as I am, nothing extenuate, nor set down aught in malice. Then must you speak of one that loved not wisely, but too well, of one not easily jealous, but being wrought, perplexed in the extreme. I kissed thee ere I killed thee. No way but this killing myself, to die upon a kiss.
I'm Waldo Brown, and thank you for watching.